Hello there, my crypto bit brothers and sisters. It's sure good to see you guys. We're gonna. Hey, Ron, how you doing, brother?
Rod, I'm doing well, thanks.
I ain't seen you in a month of Sundays, man. At
Shit,
least since
we just
yesterday.
had lunch at Golden Corral, the
Whoa.
smorgasbord for heavyweights,
Oh
just the other
boy,
day.
that was mine. That was mine. Yeah, I lost my temper then. I gotta apologize for that.
No, you
I
don't.
shouldn't have done. That guy was an idiot, so I couldn't help it. He can't help
I
it.
don't know if
But,
I don't know if he's an idiot. I mean, he's
well, he's a
put
nerd.
together an
Nonetheless,
unbelievable
oh,
platform,
oh,
and
oh, absolutely the best. But as far as PR work, he sucks. Let's
well,
put
and,
it
and
that
I
way.
think he realizes that too. But when you realize or you know that you're not proficient in something, it might be
Don't
better
you
just to
hire?
keep quiet about it. You
Well,
know,
wouldn't you hire a big company like that, or like
well,
LiteCoin? Wouldn't you
they
hire a
might not
PR
be
guy?
they might not be ready to yet, but again, it's better to be quiet than to be negative. Anyway, we can talk more about Charlie Lee, but
I know. I don't want to talk about him no more. I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm still going to buy Litecoin. I hate to tell you that, but I'm still going to buy it because I do like the platform. But that and that brings us up to our heading tonight. I think we ought to talk about is exactly where is crypto headed in the world. But just like anything new, it takes, especially when it comes to finances, it takes a long time before people really catch on. It's a known fact that if the government makes any kind of change in the financial institution, like lowering taxes or changing the interest rate or just whatever they do, for instance, Ronald Reagan wanted to balance the budget, right? It takes 10 years. Of course, the president's already out of office by then. It takes 10 years before that really takes effect. That's why Jimmy Carter got credit for Ronald Reagan's balancing of the budget. Everybody says, "Oh, Jimmy Carter was the only president way back when that balanced the budget." Well, bull crap, man! It was because of freaking Reagan.
the
Now I don't know
things
why they
that
don't realize that,
yeah.
huh?
Well, are we going to
Anyway,
see the same effects today with Obama's
well,
mishandling?
that's exactly the truth. And the problem is that the Democrats are going to make all kinds of things against Trump, and Trump's going to get the blame for what Obama did, and then the Republicans are out, and here comes the Democrats. That's how come it's Democrats, Republicans, and the freaking every 2 years you see a change of power. But that's a good thing because we have a change of total thinking power in this country, and we don't have to shed any blood for that. God bless America. We live in a great land. We can agree to disagree. Isn't that amazing? Except the
Yeah.
Democrats, because they're still whining about losing the election to Trump. But that's them. Anyway, let's get on started on this here.
Now that our political rant is over, or Rod's political rant,
yeah. That's the political thing,
but
according to
you
Rod.
but you
And
started this
and
off perfectly about things that are new take time to develop and become mainstream.
absolutely, it does. It's like anything. It takes a time to get the awareness of a new product or financial thing like the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
You know,
Being in business, and both of us have been in business our whole lives, self-employed,
whole lot. Yeah.
and we worked together for several years
Yes, we have.
on a business. But I learned about this S curve. Let me pull that up, Rob. You've heard of that too.
Oh yeah.
And this is what we're talking about is Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. It had its infancy, and it's trugging along a little bit on an upward plane. But then the momentum kicks in, and the support and the awareness, that's the key to tonight's discussion, is awareness. That takes hold, and the expansion goes parabolic almost. It just drives it forward and upward. And then it hit its maturity. Not that it's going to come back down, but the maturity means that there's enough people on board with that item, invention, whatever it is, that it's now part of society. And so
Yes, it
really,
is.
down in here on this curve going up, this is kind of where we're at right now. It's still only a couple percent of the population that are, well, I can't say that because I read some articles today, Rod. One of them said that 50% of those interviewed are aware of the term Bitcoin. Now, they might not be aware of what it is, but people are hearing the word Bitcoin. I saw another survey that was done, and it said 97%. I doubted that one, but people are becoming aware of at least the name, and the more people that come into this, and the more the mainstream news publishes about it, that awareness is going to grow. So this expansion is just about to go ape shit crazy. I mean,
it is. Hey, to backtrack a little bit, talking about the Golden Corral, when we talked to our waitress, she didn't really know anything about Bitcoin. But yet after we left, we went over to Best Buy and started talking to those guys over there, and it was about 50-50. That those guys, some of them knew, some of them didn't. So I agree about that. Because I ask people every day if what they know about Bitcoin. I just part of my nature. I just ask them, what do you know about Bitcoin? And it's about 50-50. Some says, yeah, I've heard of Bitcoin. They never heard of cryptocurrency, but they have heard of Bitcoin, which this follows suit what you're saying.
No, you're right. We went to the bank after that, and the bank guy we dealt with had heard of it and knew some. And I went to a bank today to wire, and I've been I've been giving some false information. I wired money from my bank to the Philippines to my brother today, and it was over $6,000. And I thought the fee would have been a couple hundred. It was only $41.
Oh.
So I expected a lot higher, and I've been telling everybody on these YouTube channels that that it's crazy, but at least and this is a national bank. It's not a credit union. It's not a small thing. It's in the state of Utah, but it's pretty big. So I was pretty pleased that it was only $41. Not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
You're right. We talked to people, and at least half of them had heard of Bitcoin, and then we even talked to a guy sitting there in the bank as we were waiting. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting enough,
right.
these guys and their young men, what do they call snowflakes or millennials? Millenniums. Well, they're anxious to learn about it because both of them were pretty inquisitive about it to us, asking a lot of questions, and to me, it kind of dawned on me that their millennial, whatever you call them, their term, that age group, this electronic type stuff is like talking to people in our age group, Rod, about gold and silver.
Hey, that's exactly the impression I got. They are computer literate. They actually know what's going on in computer. Me, I don't know what the hell's going on. I just push buttons and something happens.
But you're right, and these guys. So when you start bringing up things that, hey, this is a digital currency on the internet, it's like, wow, tell me about that. It's right up their alley. So as these millennials get hold of this is also going to push this momentum upward and outward. It's going to be phenomenal, and they'll be probably. Well, look at the people that are involved now. I think they're in that age group. A lot of them.
Well, the ones that we get on our YouTube channel, I don't know why they listen to us old farts anyway, but they're all pretty young, because
that's my point.
They are starving for this stuff. And once they really catch a grasp of it and catch on, this thing is going to explode like an atomic bomb, man. It's just going to go bam.
So
I'm so excited
it's
about
not
this.
in any type of bubble, and folks, you are in it at a good time. But along with anything, Rod, when you have rapid growth, you have growing pains too.
You sure do. And look at all these exchanges have been having problems because they're growing so fast they can't keep up. They didn't know it was going to go this fast.
I'm kind of excited that there's new exchanges coming on board. Neo, AntShares previously was their name. They've got that new. They don't have it, but there's a new exchange called Binance, Binance, Binance. Man, I couldn't pronounce that video either. But I'm happy to see these new exchanges coming on board because we're going to need them for the growth.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to need new things happening for us, that's for sure.
You know, and along with the exchanges, I mean, knowledge is a huge thing of this. People, like you just mentioned, are hungry for the application of this industry. How do I use it? How do I apply it? And so,
and once you do that, once you know it, once you have the knowledge of it, then you start to believe it. And once you believe it and have faith in it, then because to have faith in the dollar, that's what makes the dollar is the faith in it. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. You got to have the faith in it that it's going to go places and do things. And you and I do, and so does everybody else watching this channel. Don't you think?
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's our faith that keeps the dollar bill going. That's not anything worth but a piece of paper. I mean,
I know.
Well, it's so manipulated and controlled.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So that's right. But you also got to be aware of the scams that are out there, and we've seen now some ICOs. I just read about one that collected, God, I don't know how many millions, and I was just today or yesterday I read about this, and it was a complete fraud. I mean,
yes.
I think
somebody's got to get in there, because there's some people that are kind of too much faith, and they put a lot of money into something that don't go nowhere.
Well, before they know about it and put the due diligence into learning and paying attention, just like YouTubers. I mean, people come on and they could listen to us about an ICO and run out and invest in it. And, why take the faith that we're not the experts on all this stuff. We're just giving opinions and relaying news and ideas. So you got to be careful with all that.
Also you got to realize that this stuff is decentralized. That means there's no government regulations on it to protect you a little bit. There's nothing there to protect you. So the only person to protect you is who? Yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to do your due diligence.
Now, you kind of say that, though, like we'd be happy to have all government regulation come in.
No. I don't
think they could regulate it. I think this thing, the momentum of this is going so strong that unless we have an internet outage or electricity outage, who's to stop me from sending you a Bitcoin through our wallets? I mean, as long as that internet and electricity's there, it's self-governing.
Yeah, and if it does go out, guess what's going to come up real quick? Electricity and internet.
Yeah, sure.
Because even the banks work on it.
Yeah, and the government.
And the government, that's right.
You bet.
Hell.
So, folks, the final verdict with this discussion is it's headed upwards, outwards. The momentum is there. It's still in its infancy, kind of. So I'm excited to be involved in this time. I'm telling you,
my personal opinion is unstoppable. It is like a boulder running downhill, man. It's going to be going gushers.
Yeah. I have a good relationship with one of my son-in-laws, and ever since him and my daughter have gotten involved with this, he contacts me almost every day or every other day. It's thrilling that we're developing that relationship and connection because he's excited
a millennial.
too. Yeah, he is.
He's a millennial. So that's what we're saying. They're just, that age group is so fortunate to live during this time. And well, we are too, but I'm at the ebb of it, and they're just at the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be exciting times for them.
For all of us.
Yes.
Buy what you can, folks. Don't, I don't know about going into debt for it, but just get a plan together and then work your plan. How did that used to go, Rod? Plan your work and work your plan.
Right. That's it.
Adios, folks.
I used to live by that. God bless.